Yashodanandana Bhajajannaranjana Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanachariya Yamunatira Vanachariya Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jai Radha Madhava Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajajannaranjana Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Kunja Vihari Jaya Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajajannaranjana Yashodanandana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashodanandana Bhajajannaranjana Yamunatira Vanachari Yamunatira Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Vishnupada Paramahansa Vijakacharya Astuta Shata Shri Srimad His Divine Grace Bhai Channel Prabhupada aqui isso com NBPT Founder Acharya Jagad Krishna Prabhupada aqui Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam aqui Go Premanande How glorious assembly devotees How glorious assembly devotees Oh, glorious assembly devotees. Oh, glorious, oh, glorious, oh, glorious to Shri Guru and Gauranga. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayana Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Sarasatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraet Nasta Parisha Badrishu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Utamashloke Bhakti Bhavatina Istiki Shringvatan Swakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtanaha Vidyantastohya Bhadrani Vidanod Suritatan Krishna Swadamupagate Dharma Gyanadi Bisaha Kalonastad Nidishamesha Puranar Kandudotitaha Maha Krishna Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Okay, reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 25, verse 14. The title of the chapter is The Descriptions of the Characteristics of King Puranjana. Repeat after me. Prakaro Pavanatala Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Aksha Toranai Parikai Aksha Toranai Parikair Aksha Toranai Swarna Raupyaya Sahi Sahi Shringai Swarna Raupya Yasai Shringai Swarna Raupya Yasai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshatoranahi Swarnaraupyayasai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshatoranahi Swarnaraupyayasai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai. Devotees. Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshatoranai Swarna Raupyaya Sai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai. Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshatoranai Swarna Raupyaya Sai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai. Matajis. Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshatoranai Swarnaraupyaya Sai Shringai Sankulam Sarvato Grihai. Word by word. Prakara walls, Upavana parks, Atala towers, Parikahi with trenches, Akra windows, Toranahi with gates, Swarna gold, Raupya silver, Ayashaihi, made of iron. Shringahi, with domes. Sankulam, congested. Sarvataha, everywhere. Grihai, with houses. Translation from Sanskrit to English. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. Let's go repeat together. That the city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. Purport by His Divine Grace Abhacharana Vinda Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada ki. The body is protected by walls of skin. The hairs on the body are compared to parks, and the high parks for fleas. And the highest parts of the body, like the nose and head, are compared to towers. The wrinkles and depressions on different parts of the body are compared to trenches or canals. The eyes are compared to windows, and the eyelids are compared to protective gates. The three types of metal, gold, silver, and iron, represent the three modes of material nature. Gold represents goodness, silver passion, and iron ignorance. The body is also sometimes considered to be a bag containing three elements, Tridhatu, mucus, bili, and air, Kapha, Pitta, and Vayu. Yasyatma buddhi kunapetri dhatuke. According to Bhagavatam, Canto 10, chapter 84, verse 13, one who considers this bag of mucus, bili, and air to be the self is considered no better than a cow or an ass. You remember who called the body as a bag? Canto 4. Dakshalila. Oh, não pode chamar de Lila. Oh.
Shiva?
No, Sati. She compared the body with a bag, with these elegant elements. Om Gyananti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurumiritanjana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tamine Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pachayini Vishesha Shunyavadi Paste Krishnani Vancha Kalpataravescha Kripa Sindhu Vyai Vacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Jai Dvaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Tat Sat. Prakaro Pavanatala Parikai Akshaturanahi Svarna Raupyayasai Shringai Samkulam Sarvato Grihai. That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron. Hare Krishna. Good morning to everyone. Welcome to the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Sometimes the body is compared to a castle or a house, a bag, or a car in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. chapter 18, verse 61. I will divide the class, this lecture, in two parts. I will explain about the goal of life, and after I will, in the second part, I will speak about the body and soul. What is the connection between body and soul? I swear I prepared this class in Friday, before the class of the Akandadi Prabhu, but as I don't understand very much the English, I think that this is distinct class. Okay, the description of the allegory of the city of Puranjana follows. The direct translations that the Sanskrit dictionary on the internet are as follows: soul, living principle, and life. The word is Puranjana. In this way, Narada Muni, in the most universal way possible, is addressing all of us, all conditioned living entities who are one who enjoys in a body. The Puranjana. The interesting that in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is all topics are very, very universal. This meaning that all peoples in every place of the world, in every time, dependence of gender, race, anything, this message is very, very used for all kinds of peoples. Immanuel Kant defined science like one thing that is universal and necessary. And the philosophy of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is very, very necessary and universal. Is applied for any kind of peoples, independent of time, circumstance, material conditions. This is a very old story. I have a little sarcasm because the Krishna's energy is eternal also, yes? The Prakriti is eternal, and like a jail, like a prison, and the behavior of the conditioned souls every time it will be like describing Puranjana's history. This is a very old story, perhaps the most familiar of all, because the spiritual soul, when it comes to the material world, forgets who it really is and identifies itself as the body, vehicle or car. Brahmayan Sarvabhutani Antarudani Mayaya. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 61. That drives the soul, and so in the body, try to be happy through life in the body. After being asked by Narada, what do you desire to achieve by performing these fruitive activities? Yes, this is a problem that was put in the verse 4 of this chapter. Narada Muni inquire about King Puranjana about this. What do you desire to achieve by performing this activity, the fruitive activities? And the king replies, "O great soul, Narada, my intelligence is entangled in fruitive activities. Therefore, I do not know the ultimate goal of life." This is very interesting because Puranjana, Prachina Bharishat, is very sincere, yes. He knows that have a disease, he have a great problem, and because this he don't know the ultimate goal of life. And not only Puranjana, but especially for our society, this actual society, this modern society, have this problem. They don't know what is the ultimate goal of life. Yeah, this was plain in the verse 5. Um, when you started with fruitive activities or material activities, gradually you will forget what is the goal of life. Because when you involve with fruitive activities, you are involving with rajas and tamas. And these two modes, rajas and especially tamas, cover our vision, cover our intelligence. And the consequence is that we forget the goal of life. Now in Brazil, we have a big party called Carnival. And I was seeing videos from yesterday, because our in places are 1 week, whole week, every day, every time. In another cities is 4 days only. Yes, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and today is the last day. Today is the day of Carnival, Tuesday. And not in one city, in whole cities, include my city. My city is a small city with 50,000 people, and the Carnival is so powerful. But in São Paulo, Rio, and Salvador, these big cities, you see not 1,000 people, 100,000 people, 2-3 million of people, yes, all together, and this is more depraved possible. Because the people forget what is the goal of life. Yes, they think that the more immediately goal of life that we have is, I am the body. If I am the body, I search pleasure, happiness. Yes, because the soul is made of happiness, ananda, Satchit Ananda Vigraha. And if you forget who I am, that you is a spiritual soul, you will search a pleasure in a body. But this cause bewildered in the spiritual soul. Who I am? I'm in this body. What is the goal of life? Only enjoy. And the artists sometimes can see the mistake of the society, yes, much like Bob Dylan sang in his song, like Rolling Stones, at the dawn of counterculture and protest, being an actualization of the contemporary man. And the open quote: "How does it feel? How does it feel to be on your own, with no direction, home, like a complete unknown, like a rolling stone?" Yes, with no direction, home. This is the deep characteristic of this civilization. Or New York, David Byrne, supposed in the 80s, already in an even less hopeful situation in his song "Roads Nowhere" by Talking Heads. Maybe wonder where you are. I don't care. Hell is where time is on our side. Take you there, take you there. The road on to nowhere, road to nowhere, road to nowhere. This is the very deep mark of this civilization. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. We're on a road to nowhere. Some of you heard about ChatGPT? No. This is a very new tool of search. Is a kind of new step of the artificial intelligence. It's like a Google, but 1,000 more better. You make a question and they give a very specified answer. For example, ChatGPT make a touristic a guide to me go to Paris, and I want to stay 5 days in Paris, and the ChatGPT give pass what you can do, the places. It's a wonderful. This tool is very new, have 2 months only, but many people think that this is a very revolutionary. This is a second step in the artificial intelligence. So I decided to ask ChatGPT, the newest and most revolutionary AI, artificial intelligence program, considered 1,000 times more advanced than Google. And look what he replied. The eternal question. I asked to ChatGPT, what is the goal of life? A robot, yes, a computer. But I ask, do this with emotion and humor sense, yes, with funny. This is the reply. The eternal question of the meaning of life. In today's world, the answer to these questions can vary greatly, depending on who you ask. Relative, yes? But let me try to answer it with a bit of emotion and humor, just for fun. So, what is the goal of life in nowadays, you ask? Well, some people might say it to accumulate wealth and material possessions, to travel the world, to find fame and fortune, or to achieve personal success in their chosen careers. But you know what I think the true goal of life is? To have as much fun as possible. Life is short and we only get one shot at it. So why not make the most of it and enjoy every moment to the fullest? I mean, think about it. What's the point of working yourself to the bone and stressing out over your job or your finances if you are not actually having fun and enjoying your life in the process? Life is meant to be savored and cherished, thank you, not just endured. So let's all make a pact to embrace the joy and excitement of life, to take risk, try new things, and laugh as much as possible. Yes, like a clown. Let's surround ourselves with people who bring out the best in us and who make us feel alive and happy. Let's dance in the rain, sing at the top of our lungs, and enjoy all the little moments that make life so special. Yes, the life is very short. The problem that is the problem continues. Yes, who the program the computer. But here we have a good example of this actually society think about the goal of life. Is this? In short, the goal of life in nowadays is to live it up, have a blast, and make some unforgettable memories along the way. The problem is memories in the time of death. Life is too short to be serious all the time. So let's have some fun and make the most of every single day. But ChatGPT forgets anything. As Puranjana is inside the body, he uses the materially contaminated senses and mind to perceive and understand the world. When I speak about Puranjana, I speak about it, the whole world, about it, all of us. From this misunderstanding arises a relative view, based on a particular point of view for each individual. That's exactly why ChatGPT, or the conclusion of current thinkers nowadays, will say, open quote, the answer to this question can vary greatly depending on who you ask. But if truth, this is good. But if truth is absolute, one, immovable, always the same, eternal and non-dual, how can there be multiple responses, relative and dependent on a specific individual? If the absolute truth, if the truth is absolute, is one, is immovable, always the same, eternal, non-dual, how can different peoples have different answers about this? This is correct answer. This is the greatest proof of an atheistic society that has become averse to God and given over to his mere efforts, insufficient and misguided, based on mere and poor mental speculation. The Bhagavatam have a very nice answer about this, because in academy, the question about absolute truth have this answer. This is relative. Nothing is absolute. This thing like of absolute truth don't exist. Don't have. All the word is relative. But Bhagavatam explains, Jnana ekam parichanayir indrair brahmanir gunam avabhati artha rupena brantya shabdadi dharmina. Those who are averse to the transcendence realize the supreme absolute truth differently through speculative sense perception, and therefore, because use your senses, contaminate senses, because of mistaken speculation, everything appears to them to be relative. In material world, everything is temporary and relative. For example, my biological body have a father, and Evgeny, the body of Evgeny have another biological father, but the father of Evgeny is different of my father. The father of the body of Evgeny is relative to the body of Evgeny, and my biological father is relative to this body, like the biological father of the Dina Doyal. Because this is material world, relative, dual. But when I speak about the spiritual platform, in the spiritual platform, Krishna is my father, Krishna is your father, your father, your father, is the father of everyone. Because this is absolute. The spiritual platform is absolute, absolute truth, the ultimate truth. But in material platform, when you use the senses, all things is relative, depend of the circumstances and consequences. But this is Maya. The devout through Jnana Chakshusha, through spiritual knowledge, can see that through the material layers, which are fluctuating and temporary, is the Supreme Personality of God, permitting everything as a sense, saying that on the surface of the ocean and the dualities, but that in depth of the ocean are the pearls of the absolute truth that actually support and maintain the ephemeral dualities. When you go deep, you can search, discover the absolute truth, yes, the absolute platform. But if you stay in the superficial, use only the senses, material senses, all things is temporary, relative, and dual. But the absolute truth, God, maintain all these relative things. Okay? Puranjana's allegory. In verse 13 of this chapter, the allegory of the city of 9 gates. Remember, Krishna explained about this in Bhagavad Gita also, yes? We are in the city of 9 gates. When we use these 9 gates, 9 holes. Everyone understand this? Yes? You understand this, Elena? Okay. When you use these 9 gates, nine holes to Krishna, we are illuminated. When you use these 9 holes for the pleasure of the body, the material mind, we are in Maya, in illusion. As the dwelling place of the soul began to develop, as Krishna explained in Bhagavad Gita, chapter 18, verse 61, Ishvara sarvabhutanan hridesharjanati ushrati brahmayan sarvabhutani yantarudani mayaya. Yantarudani, like a car made of Maya. The Supreme Lord is situated in everyone's heart, O Arjuna, and is directing the wandering of all living entities, who are seated as on a machine made of the material energy. If the body and the mind are not the self, but a kind of vehicle or car in which we are passengers or witnesses or mere observers, how can I understand this? How can I understand that I'm not this body? Okay, now I will begin the second topic, the connection between body and soul. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Parambuya Pravakshami Gyanan Gyana Utamam Yadgyatva Munaya Sarve Paransiddhim Itugata. The Supreme Personality of Godhead said, again I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Yes, this is the first verse of the chapter 14 of Bhagavad Gita, that speak by 3 modes of nature. Again, I shall declare to you this supreme wisdom. Why this knowledge about the 3 gunas is so important to Krishna declare the supreme wisdom, the best of all knowledge, knowing which all the sages have attained the supreme perfection. Because our connection or our jail within the body, our prison in the body, happens by the 3 gunas. Not only 3 gunas that affect the consciousness. What is the name of, what is the translation of the gunas? Oh, the best, yes, this. Rope and more? Chains. Because the gunas are like subtle ropes that attached, that catch. Yes, catch the soul and the body. But this prison, like the Prakriti, like the body, Puranjana, is so subtle, so special, that is a prison with the gates open. Every time, every moment, the souls can get out, can go out of this prison. The material world is a prison with the gates open. So why we continues in this prison? Why we continues inside of this? Okay? The topic is connection between body and soul. Have a connection in body and soul? If the soul is pure, is transcendental, the soul do anything in material platform? No. The spiritual soul do nothing in material platform. And so this material entanglements is so strong to me. Yes, like desires, lust, lamentation. Why is this is so real? Jai Jagannath Jai Baladev Jai Shrimati Subhadra Maharani Jai Shri Gaura Nitai Ki Jai. And why seems that I myself experienced this lamentation, angry, lust, and all this? If I see a white, okay, I will give you an example for we understand this. Examples, analogies, like we see here with the Puranjana's allegory, is the best way to understand anything. Example: if I see a white van going, yes, down the street towards the temple, one might say, Krishna Premarupa is coming, okay? Krishna Premarupa, our driver in the van, and if the white van coming, one can say, Krishna Premarupa is coming. But if I see, what I see? A white van. Where is Krishna Premarupa? Krishna Premarupa are inside. Krishna Premarupa is the same thing that the van? No. But if I see the van, I spoke it. Krishna Premarupa is coming. But how is it? I see a white van coming and someone says Krishna Premarupa is coming, because Krishna Premarupa is the person inside, Puranjana, who is driving the van, but he is not the van. Due to the material illusion, there is a false identification between the self and the body, and we begin to feel and experience reality through the body. You know someone that think that I am this body? I am Brazilian, I am Swiss, I am black, I am white, I am a woman, I am a man. You know some people like this? Everyone, yes. Everyone are in this illusion. Between the self and the body, and we begin to feel and experience the reality through the body. Who feel cold? The soul? Who feel hot? Who feel hungry? Starvation? Who feel lust, desire? All these are desire from the body, or necessities of the body to body keeping alive. Heat, cold, hunger, sexual desire, lamentation are some of the needs of the body as part of this world, but due to influence of the gunas, the ropes, the chains, the modes of nature, I believe that I am this body, and that these needs that do not concern me are mine. There is a profound symbiosis. Plato explained about this. The problem that in Plato not explain about the absolute truth. There is a profound symbiosis between body and soul. The nail is different of the finger, but have a profound connection. And if you take out the nail, you feel a lot of pain. But nail is one thing and finger is another thing. But the body are very connected. The difference that the connection of the soul with the body is very subtle, and the connection with the nails and finger is very gross. Which occurs in the subtle dimension. In some cases, it is easier to perceive it, and in other cases, not. For example, if Krishna Premarupa is going 120 kilometers per hour in the van, with the van, and he has an accident, a crash, even though he has no physical connection with the van, okay? Krishna Premarupa is one, and the van is another. Now he is inside the van. He noticed the van, but if the van crash 120 kilometers per hour, Happen anything with Krishna Paramarupa? Yes, happened. He have an accident. He hurt. Yes. Even though he has no physical connection with Devan, Krishna Paramarupa also gets hurt. Open quote of Bhagavad Gita: nature is said to be the cause of all material causes and effects, whereas the living entity is the cause of the various suffering and enjoyment in this world. Yes? At the moment that I am in the body and I act in the body, what happens with the body? The soul experience this, yes, suffer, distress, happiness. And Kapila Deva says that the Bhoktatve Sukha Dukhanam Purusham Prakriti Paran, the feeling of happiness and distress of the soul who is transcendental by nature, don't have connection with this body, are caused by the spirit soul himself. If you acting like the body, what occurs with the body, you feeling. Srimad Bhagavatam are caused by the spiritual soul himself. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 26, Verse 8. That is, the sensations of suffering and pleasure are real to the soul while it inhabits the body. This is virtual. But if you think that is the body, you're feeling that happens with the body. Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 13, verses 6 and 7, the five senses objects, desire, hatred, happiness, distress, the aggregated, the life, symptoms, and convictions, all these are considered in summary to be the field of activities and its interactions. Regarding the difficult part to understand that they are not part of the pure soul are desire, hatred, happiness, distress, anger, lust, etc. How can I understand that such affections are not part of the pure self and are a product of material nature? In other words, how is the connection between the body and soul? Okay, I'm not this body. Yes, I understand that hungry, hot and cold. But how I can understand that lamentation, distress, happiness, this is not the real sensations of the spiritual soul in this moment? How can I understand this? Because everything I'm happy, I'm distressed. In really, the mind are experiencing this. Happiness and distress. Not is the real soul. To this question, Vidura raised the following question to Maitreya. This is a very, very, very interesting. Look how Vidura put this. This is one of the first questions that Vidura showed to Maitreya. The pure soul is pure consciousness and is never out of consciousness, either due to circumstances, time, situations, dreams, or other causes. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 7, Verse 5. How then does he become engaged in nescience, in ignorance? That is, if the soul is pure and spiritual, having no connection with this material world, how does it get entangled? Yes? If the spiritual soul is so subtle, we need a very subtle ropes or chance to get the soul. How can water mix with oil? Okay, this is the answer directly of Maitreya. This is translation of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. Because of Maya. What do is made Maya, material world? Remember verse 14 of chapter 7. Daivi Riesha Guna Mai. Daivi Riesha. This nature divine is made of three gunas. Three gunas is the basis of the material world. Is these three gunas that can catch the jiva. Because of Maya, the jiva's loss of knowledge and bliss makes its appearance without cause or purpose. The loss is illusory. Just the seer of a dreaming experience, his head being cut off, is illusory. This is a very wonderful example. In this example, you know, this example was did many times in Srimad Bhagavatam. And after I pay attention for this, is so amazing. Devotees like often take a nap, yes, after prasadam, and you go to the bed. I'm this person. I'm go to the bed. 5 minutes after that you sleep, you begin dreaming. Oh, now I'm in Brazil. Now I lost the connection with the devotees. What you feel? Anxious, yes, desperate. You stay sad. But after you wake up, oh no, I'm in Zurich. I'm in temple. Any time you pass for this, this is pay attention of this. You go take a nap. 5 minutes after you sleeping and start dreaming, you forget where you are, who you are, and totally a new situation is proposed, and you believe that this is real. In the moment of the dreaming, you believe that is real. Exactly now, we believe that this body is real, that I am this body, this reality is eternal. Yes, I will live in many years. Exactly. Such an example of a dreamer is very practical. If we lie down to rest, take a nap, then we start to dreaming. In less than 5 minutes, we forget that we are living in a bed, and we identify with that dreaming. Where if I have my head cut off, I identify myself and believe that what is happening to me, feeling fear and anxiety, where I am actually lying in bed dreaming. This effect of accepting the illusory as the real is called Maya. Quote, the qualities belonging to the subtle body do not belong to the Atma, but appear to be so, just as the trembling quality in the water imposed on the reflection of the moon is not trembling of the moon. Thought is appears to be so. Our reality is we are contemplating the moon, but in a water, and this water is trembling, and I conclude that this is the moon. Yes, this is the moon trembling, but the moon not here. The moon is fixed in another place. Yes, in the sky, immovable. But because these are our experiences, I believe now this is the moon trembling. They do not belong, asan, to the jiva, atma. The seer, the person that view, that person that see, though they appear to be so. The appearance takes place by imposition of the subtle body. In this way, the subtle body or Mahatattva that presents itself as chitta or consciousness, Kapila Deva says that the Mahatattva spend in chitta. In chitta have two phases. The chitta is pure consciousness without the influence of the gunas, this is pure consciousness, or Krishna consciousness. But the chitta, the consciousness, were uncovered by three gunas. How is the name? How is the phase? Ahankara, false ego. I'm the door. I'm do this, but this is illusion. This is ahankara. Ahankara. I'm the donor, but no. The real donor is the gunas. What is the symbol of Rajaguna? The symbol of Rajaguna is attraction of men by women. This is the symbol of Rajaguna. This is desire of the soul? No, this is a product of Rajaguna. If one have pleasure, is attracted by eat cow meat. This is attraction of the soul. No, this is a product of Tamaguna that cover our pure consciousness. What is what is the activity of the soul? Only Krishna consciousness. This is the pure activity, the clear activity of the soul, the pure activity of the consciousness. Krishna consciousness. I'm eternal servant of Krishna. In this way, the subtle body. So when the soul loses hope of being happy in this world, it ceases to make efforts for its well-being in this place. When the soul becomes detached, it is as if it woke up from a dream and saw its true position in Krishna's. One characteristic of the soul is swarat, independence, or free will. This word is not come from the Vedas and not explained totally. But with our independence, swarat, what can use? How can use our independence? Our independence is only for connecting with rajas, tamas, and sattva. When I choose, every moment we can choose. When I choose connect with the sattva guna, it's like a balloon. Yes, our consciousness will clarify, will clean. But when I choose connect with rajas and tamas, our consciousness will stay more darkness, turv. Yes, sattva guna is like a balloon. But when we choose Raja and Tamas, we down for down species or stay in this material world. Last verse to conclusion. Sorry for the time. Sae Shayari Prakriti Guneshu Abhi. This is a very deep topic. Guneshu Abhiveshajate Aham Kriya Vimudatma Kartasmit Abhimanyate. When the soul is under the spell of the material nature and false ego, ahankara, identify his body as the self, he becomes absorbed in material activities. That is not activities of the soul. And by the influence of false ego, he thinks that he is the proprietor of everything. Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 3, Chapter 27, Verse 2, Kapila Deva. Okay, thanks. Sorry by the time. If you want to have a comment or question.
Hare Krishna. You were reading from this song, isn't it? That everything is miserable. No, they want to enjoy. In the road to know it, yeah. They want to enjoy, and